Where is Sal? Sal. Big Sal. Come here, Sal. Sal, your team, Sal. They're laying you down. What's
they're
this?
Not my team.
Oh, come on. We all refer to you, okay? You are the knowledge guy of the American team. So, okay, seriously though. Okay, go on then. We'll put our back to you. So, seriously, what do you think went wrong for HRG?
I wasn't watching the whole thing. I've actually been walking around getting pictures. What I did see, it looked like they were getting flanked a lot. They were getting separated, so Shrugger would run around behind and maybe get a kill, but it wasn't worth enough. Okay. Looks like they're live.
Okay, so I'm going to have to cut you off. It seems like they've gone live for the second map, so take it away, Beta and Arx.
Well, there was a little bit of a delay. So saying they've just gone live. I meant wrap it up, not cut it off. Never mind.
It was 90 seconds, but I'm sure we'll get Sal in afterwards. He'll show the USA. He'll represent USA very proudly. So yeah, we will be going live soon with the second match. Second map even. HRG looking to respond to that. This is a place in the grand final at stake. And HRG, I'm sure, coming over here is, well, that is where they would want to be. So the map is going to be process, or however you pronounce it.
Tomato, salamander,
Exactly.
Sal.
Beta doing a terrible American accent.
They're all the same, mate. All my accents are the same. You should know that.
Do an Irish accent.
Not even going to try it.
Okay, there you go. Well, all right. So yeah, the game should be going live reasonably soon. Predictions on this map?
Strong performance by Epsilon. We're going to stick with them, my friend. I'm going to have the crowd on my side for once, with Epsilon winning, and well, yeah, you can go with the other team, I guess.
I think HRG are going to be better on this map. If I recall correctly, and I could be wrong, they beat the Frenchies 5-0.
Well, here we go then. So we are live. This is the second map of HRG versus Epsilon Esports. Process is the second map. 1-0 and maps the score to Epsilon. Arx, take us through this second map mid.
So let's have a look. HRG getting really aggressive. They're controlling the height on this match, but that does not necessarily mean it's a good thing, as Gear does come in to try and disrupt that. Shrugger and Tag do go down. Lansky's also down. Numlock down for Epsilon. 2 versus 4 at the moment. Shade crucially has gone down though, so it looks like Epsilon going to be taking this. They kept their medic alive. Sizer not going to be able to do anything about that, and he does get eliminated as well. And only Banny alive to try and defend this 4th TP. Epsilon with a commanding fight on that mid, and well, they've got their Uber as well.
Yeah, Shade went down. Saving grace is that some of the players of HRG went down early. They might be able to contest this a little bit, but the Shade went down himself. He went down relatively late. So as you can see, Nox building that Uber. Sizer is running Sniper. We'll go in eyes with Sizer to see if you can get that cheeky pick. Oh, he's gone heavy now. Apologies. And here they come, Arx. They're coming into that lobby area, just outside that last CP. They're going to come for it straight away. No hanging around today.
So in they go, Epsilon. Now Uber has been popped. Tag does get shut down by Gear. Players are on the, well, some time on the point. As doing a great job of holding. Heavy is coming to play. Epsilon just getting crushed on that last point. Gear does go down as the final fatality. Nox has managed to escape, so they're going to keep their Uber percentage up for the time being. So it looked like Lansky did want to jump around the corner, but I think they're just going to have to get some time on this point and accept that they've got an Uber advantage and are taking back their second.
Yeah, good hold from HRG there, the US team. Probably be very happy with that. Bash running Sniper, by the way, so we keep an eye on him. Shade has used his Uber, so Uber's been forced as they come through that choke point. And Lumlock's just falling back out as quick as they can. Bash a little bit in trouble here as well, being chased down by 2 scouts. He's going to go down. So both scouts down for Epsilon. Find it hard to control the flags, especially in the PC area. But HRG capping that 3rd CP. And, well, Nox does have a substantial Uber advantage now.
Looks like they are looking to make a push through. They're going through that PC area. Sorry, through the kitchen area and sewers even. That's the one, that's the position. But they are trying to push through. They are wasting a bit of time here. HRG is giving them a lot of time to build up their Uber charge. They are on 65% already, and Epsilon still not committing to this push. Finally, a soldier jumps over to try and pressure them out of the point, but they've got no time on it. HRG will get their Uber charge before this has been capped out, but are Epsilon going to do a good enough job of trying to block out these choke points? I think they are going, they're just about doing enough. Size does get down, but he was isolated on his own, and Epsilon are going to take, well, retake this mid.
Yeah, they just had a couple of the players had the height advantage there. Both soldiers, Mike was sitting up top. As they now make their way through that PC area, actually going to come back through the lower entrance. Scout has caught it. He's trying to escape. That is, of course, the Scout of Strucker who gets taken down. 3 players down for HRG. They're in trouble here. Uber has been popped, but Bunny's in all heaps of trouble with Mike jumping all around him. He's so weak. Does go down. Counter Uber does come in, but there's only Lange left. Will he be able to do enough? No, he won't. He does actually fall back. Takes gear with him. And, oh, Nox goes for a cheeky bow. A bit brave, but 3 players down for each team, and Lange fancies going on the offensive.
That's it, Epsilon just waiting for the rest of their players to go there. HRG have had enough of this. They are pushing out 1 soldier and a scout going aggressive out there, but again, now that demo men have come into play, it's going to be a bit risky. Oh my god, absolutely destroyed there by pretty much everyone on the HRG team. They're desperately trying to push it out and cap this. Someone faking an Uber charge there. I didn't see who it was, and it might have been HRG because Epsilon just ran for their lives.
Yeah, look where Gear is, by the way. Look, Gear's on the back cap. So Gear's already at the top of PC, waiting on the back cap as you watch the remaining action arcs. I'll stay with him. Someone will need to come back and take care of him, but watch out for the spawning soldiers. Spawning scout, he has been called. He's going to come bombing him. Double jump on and above. Shade goes, flips up to the soldier instead. Going to come up behind him. Does nothing. But it turns some heads at least, and it's allowed Epsilon to get into the point. Uber has been popped. Lange going aggressive up top as well. Mike goes down. He was in a lot of trouble there. Numlock counter Uber coming in from Nox. But Epsilon not winning this fight at the moment. 3 players down. And they may think about falling out Arx with only Numlock and Nox left.
I've noticed Shade is popping his Ubers very, very early, and I think it's because of that first map. Obviously, he's been rattled. He had 2 drops in a row, and that's going to play on his confidence a little bit. Luckily for them, though, they did manage to win that fight. Well, I say luckily, it was all skill, of course, but I'm just a little concerned that maybe Shade's feeling the nerves in this tournament, and he needs to get his focus back on track.
Yeah, we saw it on Granary earlier as well, didn't we? There's a couple of drops been in this, big drops been in this tournament so far. Usually HRG have been on the correct end of drops, but you never know. Bit nervous maybe starting to show. HRG trying to bully their way through this PC area at the moment. Numlock, very defensive setup, back right hand corner, easy to retreat through, building fast with that Boston Basher. HRG do have a slight advantage, but in relative terms they probably don't even know about it. And look where they are. Tag went in for the bomb and it didn't work out, but probably had a cheeky look to see if there were running crits as well. But no, look where Shocky is. Shocky right hand side, they've rolled through onto that, onto the scout, just taking care of Struggle, who went down. But it took 3 of them to go back, Arx.
Right, well, 2 are down for the time being for HRG. I'm wondering if Epsilon are going to see if they can just gain some ground. Obviously, HRG are going to be getting those forward spawns, but Epsilon trying to get in. Numlock taking a lot of damage, and long distance rocket finishes him off. Uber has been popped from Shade, however. Epsilon still do have their Uber, but no demo men alive. So let's see what the soldiers can do. Mike did jump out, but he was quite weak. And actually, Epsilon, in a bit of mixed communications here, they were half decided to come in, half deciding to fall out. And finally, they've resynced, standing up on top of these points. But HRG still in a reasonably good position. 2 of their players are low health, but they do have the numbers in the point and the forward spawns coming in. And I think HRG might be able to do enough here to hold off Epsilon and, well, maybe even dent them enough to make a push onto the 4th.
Yeah, Epsilon still fancying it. Mike coming in as well. Bash gets caught. Still trying to retreat out the choke point. Scout comes in for the Boston Bash and misses out. 4 on 5 at the, well, 4 on 4 at the moment, in fact. But Epsilon just slight disadvantage Ubers, and they fall back out. Happy to defend from their second CP. We'll stay in eyes with Mike, who expect will just come bombing in. We've also got Lange up now as well, but he's actually back at his choke point as well. This is going to probably be one of those bits where it's a bit of a stalemate. Arx just not sure which team wants to really get the pick, and no one wants to risk it. Still 0-0 the score, 22 minutes remaining.
Exactly, so we will just have to see. Mike does go down, and Mike is a huge player in the Epsilon lineup. That might prompt HRG to come in for a push. They have, again, Uber popped really, really early. Over 50% of it's gone before Epsilon managed to pop theirs. And they have just gone in with a soldier and a medic. Rest of the team kind of peeking in through the doors, but I just feel they were rattled just that little bit too much there. HRG still doing a good job in the deathmatch, though. That is something you can't fault them for, as Banny's now taken up a great position up on that capture point where he would be able to sticky off every exit. Soldier trying to jump out. He dealing a bit of damage. Shrugger does go down. Epsilon coming out as a unit here. Banny does take down Mike. And we'll just have to see if Banny can take on a scout, medic, soldier, and demo. I think he's not going for that fight. However, soldier is jumping in. Tag does get shut down by Stefan as he jumped into the point. And Banny might find himself in trouble. Does manage to take out Bash, but he goes down himself. And now Shade having to run, tagging up with his soldier, and they're falling back to the mid fight.
Yeah, Gear rejoining the party as well. So Epsilon, 5 players down, 5 players there as they walk through the choke. Only the scout down at the moment will not slow them down at all. Let's see where Lange is at the moment at his choke point, thinking about maybe a potential bomb in. But they're quite happy to sit back again. Arx HRG slowing the game down. Just don't want to go for those fights where there is no advantage.
Well, it is still early days. The clock is not coming into play yet. Still 21 minutes to go as HRG moving forward a little bit, just trying to clear out that PC room entrance where Epsilon are pushing, but their combo is really far forward. Medic taking a bit of damage. He's forced to Uber. He couldn't have gone any other direction. 60 health left as the counter Uber does come in. Epsilon committing to this push, as they are now just having a look as HRG look like they're in a good position. Epsilon moving back, but in comes an additional soldier of Gear, dealing extra damage. However, Gear and Stefan do fall down. HRG moving backwards. Soldiers flying through the air. Airshots are missed, but Slicer does manage to clean up Mike there. And only 1 player alive of Shade. Epsilon got to get the time on this point, but it's still 3 seconds for Banny to spawn and 9 seconds for the remaining players. Epsilon might fancy the 3v2 that is about to follow. Scout is already on the point. No, he left the point to try and deal with Banny. Banny versus the Scout here. It's a hard matchup, but Banny comes out on top and manages to save the first round for HRG.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of testing play, I guess, there, just to see if he could try get in on Banny, but Banny did the job, just holding him off on that last CP. They will have about a good 20% advantage, but whether they know that, I don't think they will, as Shade is still building. Here comes Numlock into that lower lobber area now. The time on point. Here comes bombing him as well. Uber has been popped. All of the HRG in the back right-hand corner. Uber has now been called, of course. Uber, late Uber coming in from HRG, and well, that's going to be Epsilon falling out.
Alert. The control point is being captured.
And so now it looks like HRG just going to be retaking their second CP. As wow, the rest of the, yeah, they have managed to take it out, take it back even. Epsilon still have that Uber advantage, but it is only slight. It's about 20%-ish, and HRG trying to carry that momentum from the last point forward, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to stay in this point. They have already committed through the choke. They've got a nice spread so far as they're pushing in. Epsilon are setting one soldier in. Gear goes flying into the air, takes a lot of damage. He gets taken down. Tag also down. It's a reply, and it's a very, very messy fight here by HRG. It looked like, well, actually, I'm not sure. Both teams are in good strength at the moment. Health is going good. Another casualty of Shrugger goes down as he overextends a little bit. And HRG, I just think that 1-player deficit is forcing them to move back out of this mid.
So you have to join us. This still is the first round. The score is 0-0, second map on a CP process. We're following Mike at the moment as he comes in, bombing in from the left-hand side, gets a nice strike onto Shade, who does force the Uber, in fact. Epsilon want to get out of here as quick as they can. Late Uber, great hold by Nox, so they're going to have a good 20 seconds, about 10 seconds advantage as they come back through. Mike still fighting down with Tag. They exchange in the end, and Epsilon 3 players down, but of course one of them is the medic, so it's not going to work out for them.
That's it. Just having a look at these even percentages for the time being. 3 versus 4. Remember that Epsilon are getting the forward spawns. One of their players, no, Gear is not going to be getting the forward spawn. So it is 4 players ready to defend this 4th CP. And HRG will probably be trying to just carry the momentum forward. Banny just sitting at the choke, trying to fire some long-range sticky. Soldier did jump up in the air, taking quite a bit of damage. That's Mike, just above 100 HP left. As Banny's still trying to peek in, he wants to make a play for his team. And firing some long-distance stickies over Epsilon. However, you just feel that they're waiting to pounce as soon as HRG commit. And Soldier jumps around the corner. Gear trying to make a play on the medic, but medic was nowhere to be seen. as Shrugger goes down. Sides are also falling, so it's currently a 4v5, and Epsilon looking to push off of that.
Yeah, here comes Mike on the offensive, jumping up onto the rocket, getting that height advantage. Seeing the demo of Banny going behind, actually knocks in a bit of a dodgy position here. Does have to use his Uber, and Shay still hanging on again. Significant advantage in favour of the HRG team, but Epsilon just falling back out through that sewer area. It looks like they still want to carry on this fight in mid. A lot of these fights going for a long time at the moment on this round, and well, Epsilon losing this one this time around, just not getting enough kills. Shades managed to surf a rocket away. 3 players down for Epsilon.
Surely now Epsilon are going to lose their second CP. HRG with a 6 versus 3. They have the numbers. Ubers aren't going to come into play for this push. I can't see how Epsilon are going to be able to contest this. However, HRG taking their time to get time on the point. Soldier looked like he wanted to jump out. Shrugger does go down. Again, but HRG have numbers on the point here. Oh, flanking Soldier comes in. Mike, oh, massive shot from Banny. Takes him down, and Lansky finishes him off there.
Shade down.
As HRG getting crushed there. Gear getting a double kill. Bash with a third. And HRG a complete wipe. 3 members of Epsilon are going to be pushing towards this midpoint.
Yeah, almost flanked. Mike did enough. Just coming around the left-hand side. Wasn't called early enough. And three massive rockets. Banny destroyed with 2, and then Shade on the next, and Gear came in to finish it off as well. Great coordination from those Epsilon soldiers, as you would expect. So still 0-0 the score on this second map. Very tense situation. Neither team wanting to lose the point, and I think Nox is running crits, by the way, Arx.
So we'll just have a look of where Epsilon are going to go. The ball is in their court. They will be the team that is looking to make that move first. And it looks like they've got quite a lot of people in that sewers. Nomlock hasn't... Oh, there we go. I was going to say Nomlock hadn't tagged up with the demo man, with the medic even. And he is in range, but he'd have to fire an absolute hero sticky if he was going to try crits from here. Medic is not in sight. Uber's nearly obtained for HRG. So crits comes in. Uber's been blocked, and Epsilon going to have to run here. Surely Nox gets caught. Nox does get caught. There are a couple of crit stickies lying around, so soldiers have to be careful of that if they try and push through the choke. Meanwhile, Gear doesn't know. Mike jumping over onto Shade, takes him down with help from Numlocked. And Epsilon only 2 players alive, Stefan and a very weak Numlocked. HRG in a good position to try and get time on this third, but Numlock doing a great job sticking them off. It is delayed it fractionally. 6 seconds until the remaining 3 players of Epsilon do spawn, and HRG might make a mistake if they try and push this middle.
Yeah, HRG don't look like they want to go for it. They're just slowing the game down again.
Which is good, it's smart. Not
yeah, they just don't want to overextend again. Just don't want to lose this first point. It could be pivotal on this first map. It's just it's looking like one point might take this second map at this rate.
It could very well be. We are over the halfway mark here. Playing the clock of 30 minutes, 14 minutes remaining, and still not a single point on the board.
Nox still running crits, Arx. Nox still running crits as well. One of the soldiers' tag gets caught in the corner. Actually, Gear goes down as well. Let's see if these crit stickies do it again. And here comes the crits. It's actually onto the soldier. Crits do come in. Nothing happening with them. It finally gets Banny as he tries to retreat out the upper area, but nothing happening. And Uber comes in. Nox is going to have to run. Mike will go down, of course. Rejoins with Numlock. Numlock managed to surf away, but Nox is in trouble here. So weak. 32 HP. Someone needs to help him out. Numlock rejoining. He's taken down by Shade's arrow. Gear coming in to join the party as well, but this just could be a suicide bomb in now. Only Gear there comes into Shade. Shade eats a massive rocket. Gear does take him down, and so it's an exchange of medics, and well, we're all square again. 4-2 player-wise, but HRG do recapture their second point.
I was going to credit Nox then for staying in the fight, even though he's on such little health. It does take some solid nerves to do that, but I've got to credit Shade even more for just having the vision to say, hey, I see the medic here, I know he's weak, I'm just going to fire an arrow shot, get some health myself, and take him out. And so Shade with some epic play there, but Epsilon, meanwhile, just moving forward onto this 4th point. They're getting a lot of time on it. They should be able to cap this out. I don't think Banny's going to be able to stay there for much longer. He was taking a fair bit of damage. And
here comes the landscape.
HRG will be staying back. Obviously, Epsilon are going to have that crit advantage. And so, oh no, actually, they've switched to the regular Ubercharge. So they will just be doing a standard push. So they have a slight Uber advantage. Can they make that 12% count? Most of the time, no, but we'll just have to see.
No full-on turtle defense so far for HRG. Just wanting to do standard rollout. Mike still just spamming up. Uber does come in. Scouts moving straight onto the medic. Just force it out. Numlock trying to sticky up the retreat. Nothing coming from it. Arx keep an eye on the point. Lansky extending up top. At the moment, just cannot get through onto that balcony area. So we have another recycle again. And this round continues, Arx. Well, by the looks of it. Oh, well,
Epsilon moving in through the right-hand side. Gear takes down Tag, but Size taking down Epsilon. Lots of fatalities already. 2-2 down for each team. HRG have 2 players on 19 health, Epsilon 3 players on good health. It could go either way at this point. But in comes the soldier, trying with the escape plan. Sizer takes him down with the crit scattergun. And, well, Epsilon having to fall back here. Can HRG get some time on the point? 2 scouts are right there. There's times for quite an intimidating number. Numlock is coming in. That was Stickies on the ramp that he nearly walked up onto. And HRG going to be able to take that point back, but they've lost Shrugger. Size could be in trouble. In fact, Baddie could be in bigger trouble. Baddie goes down. That's Demoman and a scout. Sure, Epsilon, if they retake this quickly, they might be able to just push into last to get the first point. But, well, this game seems to have no points in for us at the moment. But we will just see.
Here they come. Uber straight away. Heavy's out the back left corner. Focus down straight away. He'll switch it up. Time on point for Gear. Soldier comes in to try and block, but Epsilon all over the point at the moment. Tag goes down as well. It's only going to be the soldier left the point. Banny coming in to block, but HRG looking like they're hanging on. But here comes Numlock and Mike. Here they come. Time on point. Nox coming up there as well, but finally Epsilon get a point on the board. What a round. 20-minute round. One of the longest rounds I've ever seen on Process. And, well, the damage will be very interesting. Top damage, Banny 6.5k. And Lansky 6.5k as well. It's very, very close at the top there.
I've seen players get less damage than that in an entire match.
At Gear. Look at Gear ready onto Banny. Massive rocket. Gear's denied. Went very aggressively trying to deny him of that med pack. Will this cost will this cost Epsilon even? And they've fallen back out of the choke already. Maybe this can up the tempo now because HRG do need the win on this second map, Arx.
Well, it tends to be that when you get one of those lightning, well, sorry, not lightning, really, really long rounds, you get a lightning quick round to follow. And HRG, it looks like it's going within their favor at the moment. Shade just running that regular Uber charge. I'm not sure if Epsilon are going to be able to come back, but so far they've tried it many, many times. But no, not this time. Epsilon going to be pushed back to their last. Can HRG respond immediately with a round on the board? They have to face a whole combo at the moment. Gear running sniper for Epsilon. Just showing the diversity available to them in terms of classes, as Tag does jump in to try and force that Uber out. Doesn't manage to do so, and he's not been having too much success with those Uber forces. And Epsilon using that as an opportunity to probably come and push out for this.
Yeah, surprise, very brave play. Lansky going high and wide, trying to get up above. Numlock does force that Uber, but counter Uber coming in, so it's going to be all square there. Watch out for the back cap. It only needs one scout to run to last at the moment, and Lansky's going there at the moment as well. Soldier tries there to meet and greet, but here comes Banny, Shrugger down, so they've lost 2 players. HRG still pushing. It's only 3 players at Epsilon. They will not have the numbers to defend this. It's only Soldier and Scout left. Soldier spawning as well. It's only going to be Mike and Nox there. Mike's so high. Airshot from Banny coming in. And Banny going to take it 1-0 the score. What a fast round. Exactly the reply HRG wanted.
HRG responding beautifully there, sending the American crowds, giving them hope for HRG in the final. And we will just have to see 8 minutes 40 seconds remaining. We are going on to round 3 on CP Process, the second map. HRG need to win. And, well, we will just see as the Demomen have made it into the midpoint already. Waiting for the aggressive play so far. HRG trying to obtain the height advantage, but Epsilon jumping afterwards. Massive damage over onto Lansky. He does get taken down by Gear. 1 player down a piece, but Epsilon getting damaged a lot. Double kill comes in. 2 of the players are down. Epsilon getting time on the point, but HRG still in a strong position, if not the stronger position, as they are moving forward as a single unit, pushing Epsilon out of the point. And they are going to have to surrender this HRG to take the mid.
Yeah, they didn't fancy Epsilon at all there. Lost Gear. Bash just wanted to fall back. Still plenty of time left for this map. As you can see, we can have very fast and very slow rounds. We prefer the fast ones, of course. Makes it more entertaining for us. But score is 1-0. This is the second map. Epsilon taking the first map, of course. But there's a soldier of Tag that comes in. Scout there as well. Numlock's in trouble. 65 HP. Will they take care of him? Yes, they do. And, oh, it does force the Uber. Wow, force the Uber from Nox.
And that is quite crucial here. Shade just holding on to his Uber for the time being. They do have that advantage, almost trying to bait Epsilon to push forward here. As Scout does push aggressive. The rest of the HRG team, pushing forward a little bit. I thought they were going to go for that and just try and zerg them out at this point. But Epsilon do have an opportunity to escape. But I don't think they're going to be able to contest this, their second CP. Numlock's already been pressured back. Uber has been popped though. Shade popping the Uber, trying to go through. They might get Numlock. Numlock juggle once. He's got 3 HP. Finished off by a shotgun from Lange there. But that's just one player down. HRG still got the numbers here with that Demoman down. They might even try a push onto last.
Yeah, they might fancy this, you know. Here they come.
Be quick though.
Here they come. They've got to stop their spawners. Lange goes straight onto the point. Someone might not get there to block, you know. Scout comes in. Uber from Nox is going to help him out a lot there. But 2 players down for Epsilon as they get respawns, and HRG just not going to do. I think there's someone up behind. It was Tag who gets taken down, so maybe Epsilon can recapture their second point. Arx.
They might have just committed a few too many players to that. I think they might have been able to force the Uber with maybe 1 less player, but it doesn't really matter. Epsilon have used their Uber charge just to gain 1 point. HRG have now got the Uber advantage. And it's whether or not they are going to be able to use this. Epsilon trying to push players through to middle. Numlocked again leading the way. Just trying to get some spam and intimidate some players out of the point. As Gear goes in for... No, sorry. Mike goes in for an aggressive jump. Again, didn't manage to intimidate anyone as he goes for another round. Oh,
here he comes.
Medic gets juggle. What's getting in the air shot? Missing the air shot. Excellent dodging from Shade up onto that little balcony ledge.
Forced Uber
is forced. Epsilon have committed quite a few players into this though. They could go 3 down here. Which could allow HRG to push, but low health on the HRG players. Are they going to be able to go in and cap this 4th CP? I don't think they're going to be able to manage it. But, not with Epsilon having their Uber.
Right, just over 5.5 minutes remaining now. Score is 1-1, 1 apiece on this second map of Process. We can see Epsilon now with their Uber ready to rock and roll. It doesn't look like they want to go through though, Arx. It's their turn to push, I guess, and a little bit of downtime on this map. Again, did have a very long round the first round, and neither team wanted to lose a second point so late in the game, I guess.
Yes, so HRG, 90% of their Uber. They're the ones who are going to be looking to make this push. 5 minutes remaining in this match. Score is still 1-1. HRG are going to need to win this map to stay in this matchup and hope for a place in the grand final. As Mike just jumping around the corner, he does jump back out again. It was almost just trying to get some visual on the enemy team, see what they were trying to do. As HRG are making their way into that sewer entrance. Demoman is poised for Numlocked. He doesn't have a sticky trap there. He has the sticky trap over on the choke point. So there won't be an instant fatality if anyone walks around that corner, but again, game is quite slow. In comes the bombing soldier. Is he going to have success with? No. Tag very close. He was point blank on the medic, but had already used his rocket. The initial jumping rocket. And again, 1 player down. Epsilon love to push on just that small advantage. Yeah,
Mike's actually got through the sewers here. Just faking a jump soldier. It looks like it's going to be Saito owning Mike up as he came through that sewer area. Again, Epsilon not really willing to commit Arx. Just slowing it down. Still 4 minutes left, so time's ticking away very slowly from at the moment. And here come HRG.
So Soldier jumping in, Uber's been popped. That was just to save the Soldier from the falling damage. I understand what Shade was trying to do there. I'm not sure if he needed it, but the Uber has been popped. Epsilon still not popped their Uber, and they are falling back. Shade does go down to stickies from Numlocked. And, surely Epsilon are going to be trying to push this, but they still need to be cautious as all of the damage dealers for HRG are still alive.
Yeah, Shade actually, he thought he got out. Everyone else was through the choke point. It's just a random sticky by Numlock. Mike taking care of Lange in the corner of the sewer. Oh, gets a nice shot on Sizer as well as he went for that med pack. And here come Epsilon through that choke point now. 2 players down for HRG at the moment, but most importantly, their big damage dealers. Banny's still there as well. Tagger still floating around, and here he comes in for the jump onto Nox. Uber's popped straight away just to make sure that he doesn't go down, and Epsilon in the ascendancy, just recapping this midpoint, I imagine.
So Shade has a slight Uber advantage here. Well, I'd say slight 20%, which it can come into play is a large enough value. 2 minutes 50 seconds remaining. The score is still tied, but the ball is in Epsilon's court at the moment as they are the team who hold the mid and are pushing forward. As Soldier is committing it in, Mike does go down. He was a fair amount of damage, but 2 players weaker, not 2 players down. Banny, however, is finished off. Lansky also still quite weak, absorbing a lot of the medic's heals, and that could cause Shrugger to go down, who's also sitting on quite low HP, but he has just been buffed up enough. As Uber is popped for HRG, it looks like Soldier is pushing aggressive. He's trying to get that medic down. Great jump. Oh, the shotgun was amazing from Lansky. As well, he manages to take him down. Shade's still alive, so an Uber advantage coming their way. But Epsilon still have numbers, and they might push in, and it could be a threat.
Yeah, here we go. Approaching the last 2 minutes and HRG 5 players down. Only Banny left alive, who's retreating out through PC. He has been called disastrous for HRG. He's been chased down by Mike. They exchange, but that's a good result for Epsilon. Nox waiting for the spawns. It's going to be very close here, Arx. 1 minute and 50 seconds.
This is it. Can Epsilon take this out? HRG are going to need to hold on to this. They are holding on to their fourth for the time being, and they know that they don't want to be pinned back on their last with only 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining, because that means that Epsilon will get in a position where they can't lose it. They can only... the worst case scenario is a golden cap. The best case scenario is win. And HRG desperately holding on to that second CP, hoping, because there's still enough time for them to get a push over onto mid, but Epsilon are going to be the ones pushing forward as they have the Uber advantage. HRG going to be intimidated. Tag does jump in again. Doesn't manage to get the Uber force because they didn't even have Uber. And actually, it's crit. They've got to be careful. Epsilon pushing Numlock to the medic. Oh my gosh! They are so close. They might pop it almost immediately. Can Numlock get through? Crits are coming in. Is he going to get anything? He takes down Sizewell. Mike takes down Lange, kills himself. And now he's over onto the medic. Shade did go for the Ubersaw. Epsilon might be in the final here. There's 4 versus 2. Only 50 seconds remaining. Can Shrugger and Tag do this for the Americans here? One player goes down, 53 health over on Tag. He's got a lot to do. Airshot from Gear. 40 seconds remaining. 2-1 to Epsilon. And it looks like we have one of our finalists as the crowd go wild.
Great round for Epsilon. Take it 2-1 to score. Well, I think that will be the last round, considering Numlocked has left already. So there, I'm very pleased to say that we will be having a European team on our grand final stage tomorrow in the form of Epsilon Esports. HRG are not out of the competition just yet.
Most certainly not.
No, they go down to the lower bracket, and that lower bracket game will be tomorrow at midday, I believe. Midday will be that lower bracket final between HRG. It's a few teams still, so I can't call it just yet, but you never know. So 2-1 is the final score. Arx, let's have a quick look at those stats for our fans on the stream. I'll bring those up right now. What did you think, Arx? Did you reckon is that what you thought was going to happen on process? Such a long first round. I mean, it was almost for so long you thought nothing was going to happen.
Yeah, it was a tricky game to call, really, because when you get those games which are very, very even and low scoring, it just means one round can take it, and that's where teams get quite nervous, because they start giving each other respect, because the clock starts ticking down and the scores still remaining even. And honestly, that could have gone either way. I didn't think that Epsilon on that second map dominated HRG at all, but yeah, I think it was a close one.
So damage, let's just have a look at it very quickly. Banny actually got top damage, 10,621, and I'm just looking at his closest one. In fact, it was Lansky, so putting out all that damage, but still could not win the game. We will be going to some interviews, I imagine, very shortly, so we'll be right back after a very quick break.